Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 358. I am your host, Keith Andrew, along here is Michael Rodriguez, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
No, the honor is all mine. Like I said, you're supporting a good cause, making a friend out of it. And for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even if I have a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And to prove to them, you can break the labels. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 35 minutes of your time, say anything you want, and freedom of speech, so it's uncensored. So it's freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, sure, Keith. Again, thanks again for having me on here. And I understand you just had a 4-year anniversary, so congratulations are in order.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I saw your post on that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, just a little bit about me. I'm married. I've been married for 17 plus years, and I've got 4 kids. And ranging from ages from as young as 7, about to be 8, to as old as 15, 3 boys and a girl. So love my family. They're pretty much number one to me. So it's faith, family, and then work and all the other fun stuff that I like to do, or hobbies, if you will. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Grew up in the south side of San Antonio, Texas, and just lived here all my life. Traveled different places in the nation, as well as far north as Canada, as far south as the outskirts of Mexico. But just love it here, and don't feel like I want to leave anytime soon. So.
Well, you do. Well, I have to bring this up now that you mentioned San Antonio. Are you
Sure.
a fan of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels?
Oh yeah, I like that guy. He's well, what I like about him is not just the fact that he's a great wrestler, he's great at what he does or did, but he's also a good person all the way around. I mean, I've actually bumped into him at we're going to a Christian rock concert, Casting Crowns, and he was actually in the line right behind us, and so I kind of got to meet him a little bit there. And other things he's done for the community in and around here just kind of shows that character-wise, the character of a person, he's a really good guy, at least as far as what I've known about him. So yeah, definitely familiar with that gentleman there.
Oh, absolutely. And what was your experience like when you first met Shawn?
Oh, it was cool. It was like meeting just a normal person. It wasn't anything where he knew I was meeting a superstar. That's one thing. Like when you know you're a superstar and you let everybody else know you're a superstar. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like meeting a normal person and then telling them, good to see you here. And it was fairly brief, nothing too entailed, but for the most part, it was a good encounter overall. And other stuff I've read about him here and there, seen him in local news, things of that nature. It's been very pleasing to see. So.
Well, I would love to have Shawn Michaels on my show. That's on my things to do list.
Hey, cool.
Now, the next thing I was going to ask you is who influenced you to start your acting career, and how many years have you been acting?
Sure. Let's see. It's tough to say who influenced me because since I was a kid, I've always thought that I'd wanted to be an actor. Just one of those things. Some folks as a kid want to be a firefighter, policeman. Kind of was thinking along those lines as well. And then, I just really enjoyed watching folks on TV, and a big Rocky fan growing up watching Rocky in the 70s. And I guess following Stallone throughout his career to Rambo. And so I guess we'll say Sylvester Stallone is probably my biggest influence as far as acting goes. But I kind of had it in me to begin with. And I've been doing it since 2011. So my wife and I, we actually did youth ministry for over 20 years. And part of that youth ministry, we gave retreats, we gave conferences, we gave seminars and Holy Spirit seminars and stuff like that. And it mostly entailed a weekend thing, like Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. And there'd be like anywhere from as few as 5 teenagers there to as many as 1,000. So depending on how big the event was, but we always had something going on. Probably at least 10 times a year we were doing something like that. And part of that, the process of our retreats or conferences or seminars, if you will, we give a teaching on whatever we wanted to teach them on, and then we'd have someone probably give like a testimony. So it's like you're getting the actual formal teaching of what we want you to learn, and we got someone kind of sharing their own personal experience of what it kind of, you know, overlapping the teaching or supporting it, if you will. And then we'd also give like a skit or a drama to kind of support that also. So we were part of the writing, the directing, and then the acting part of the drama or skit. And we do it time and time again, and we come up with different ones here and there, and we adjust them, and we act on the fly. Some of it's ad-lib, you know. But doing that for 20 years, I mean, it really lit a fire in my belly to kind of like, yeah, I like this stuff. I like being out there and then helping folks out, and that kind of, you know, I kind of forgot for a while that I wanted to be an on-film actor, and then just one day I connected with an agent via social media, and was invited to go to an audition for a video. I didn't get the gig, but the agent talked to me afterwards and said, "Hey, I really like what you were bringing to the table. Have you done any training?" I was like, "Not formal training, but I have experience from my ministry and stuff." And she goes, "Well, you seem to be a natural, and I'd like to take you under my wing. I don't just take anybody's, but I like what you bring." So long story short, or long story longer, I wound up joining her and doing some gigs with her here and there, and fast forward to today, 2017. So I guess you can say I've been doing it for a good 6 years now. But even before that, while we were in youth ministry, my wife and I were asked to host a local TV show called Catholic Television San Antonio. That's actually the TV station. The program was called Fanning the Flame. And we'd host once a month, and we'd get on. We basically would bring folks on the show for an hour. And it was live, right? And it was recorded, but it was live and replayed later. Basically, we'd share, hey, tell us a little bit about your life and tell us about, you know, what God's done for you and what you're doing today, and basically promoting the faith and so on. So we did that. We actually were asked in 2005. We did that all the way through 2011. So we had a 6-year run, which was pretty cool. And then right about that time, I met my agent, and I kind of rekindled that fire that I had as a kid to be an on-film actor. And so here we are today. I probably have seen quite a few local gigs kind of coming my way over the last couple of years. Before that, it was kind of hit or miss. You know, I'm working full-time, family, things of that nature. And for some reason, it just, folks just started to get to know me a little bit, and I'm starting to get asked for more and more types of projects. And so it's been really, really cool. But it is a balancing act between the things that I love, right? Faith, family, and my job, as well as the acting.
Get a personal video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre. Buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
358, I'm here with Michael Rodriguez, and I just want to say I like how you're pulling off the Roman Reigns look.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, the first question I was going to ask you is, what were some of your big films? Were you ever in any mainstream, or were you just like the supporting actor?
Yeah, most of the films I've done has been local work, which has been pretty awesome to do. The biggest film I've been in is as a featured extra role. It's actually my first gig. We filmed it back in 2011. It got released in 2013. It was released as Mission Park, but it opened in the premiere and everything as Mission Park, but it wound up going to DVD as Line of Duty. That had about a $2.5 million budget, which was pretty awesome. Funny story about that one. My agent calls me up and says, "Hey, we had someone drop off of a film. Are you available this coming Monday?" I'm kind of called a few folks and nobody's available. I'm about to open it up to everybody and try and get somebody in here, but I thought about you because you seem to have the right look for it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was actually on vacation that week, so I was like, yeah, I can do it on Monday. Let's do this. It was the middle of August in the summer. And so my first gig ever, my wife's like, "Hey, what's it going to be?" I don't know. They're supposed to call me and let me know what I'm going to do. And so the lady calls me up. She asks me if I have any suits. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I got about 3 suits in gray, navy blue, black. And one of them has pinstripe. She goes, "Perfect. Bring that one and bring the black one." And I was like, "By the way, what is the role, ma'am?" And she said, "Well, you're going to be cast as a Mexican drug cartel." So I told my wife this. And she just laughed. I mean, she was just blown away by that. She goes, "Yeah, you would get a role like that." She's always telling me that unless I'm smiling, I look like I'm angry, I look like I'm mean. I just have one of those mean guy looks, I guess. And unbeknownst to me, I'm kind of getting used to that knowledge. But I'm thinking I'm a nice guy. I'm thinking, cool. I'm not, messing with anybody. I don't do anything like that. But apparently, the look perception is reality in a lot of cases, right? So anyway, I get on set, and it was basically I was probably filming for about 4 hours, and it was day one of about a 30-day shoot that they were doing. So I got to kick it off with Brian Anthony Ramirez is the local director, and Jeremy Ray Valdez is the actor who lives out of in LA. So yeah, there was some pretty high-profile folks in this film that you might know of, and so on. Just definitely look it up. Line of Duty is the name. It's still on DVD. You can buy it, and you can get it online too, I believe. Yeah, great movie. Just lots of action, cool twists here and there, and just a blessing to be a part of. Since then, it's been more local stuff. I did actually go to De Leon, Texas, which is about 3 hours from here. A lady found me on Facebook, friended me, and said, "Hey, I'm doing a film. I'd love you to be this, FBI agent." And so I got to be an FBI agent on that film, and drove out there and got a nice little paycheck for it over the weekend. So, I think as your name gets out there and folks get to know you a little bit more, there may be more opportunities out there. But for now, you just continue to do what you got to do, continue to grind, go to classes and acting classes, and continue to do some stuff around here with people that that they seem to be heading in the right track and know what they're doing, and then continue to work on your craft. So that's kind of my mindset right now.
Right.
We will get some more stuff pretty soon. So.
All right. Now I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there any subjects you want to talk about? Anything you want to ask me? This is your time, after all.
Yeah, sure, Keith. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was curious, what's been the best part of doing this over the last several years? What's some highlights, some cool things or moments that really stick out to you as far as what you're doing? So, because again, it's very impressive that you do this and you have so many shows under your belt, and I'm just blown away by that. So great job on you, and props to you on that. But anyway, I'd love to hear a little bit of the really good side of what you're doing.
All right, so when I first started, I'll tell you a little bit of highlights. Don't ask me why, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I did 72 phone interviews. So I got people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I got people from Dragon Ball Z, Amazing Spider-Man. And at the time, I suffered from depression, ADD, ADHD, OCD, just to go a bunch of other things, tip of the iceberg. And when I was doing my interviews, I was talking to the guests on the phone, and I was like, this is ridiculous because I don't like talking on the phone because it's like talking to myself. I like doing this because you can actually see the person. And when I was talking, I can't snap my fingers, but I kept my anxiety was firing up. And also, there were some people who I interviewed who are basically giving me one-word answers. Yes, okay, that's wonderful. And I was like, I did this on top of the anxiety, so this is not working. So at the same time, people saying to me, "Oh, Keith, you have this great format. Why aren't you big or bigger when you portray yourself to be? Why don't you have people helping you? Why don't you have sponsors?" I said, "Hey, that's great and everything. Would you like to help me?" No. If you can't do it yourself, and it's not meant to be. So I would hang up, and I would say, "Yeah, thanks a lot, asshole." But anyway, I never said that to them, but I would say it afterwards. And so one guy said to me, "The one thing I can tell you is do it over and try a different approach." And thanks to that person, I did video. So basically, season 1, it's pretty much how you see the reflection. That's what the camera picked up. Season 2, it's pretty much the same, but this is the camera, and it picked up what was on the computer screen. So it's very primitive. And I got up to 300. And a lot of people were slowly coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Yeah, my agent said, my publicist said, hey, your show's degrading. We don't like the video quality. You ask a lot of stupid questions. Or I don't like how I look. Can you take it down? And it's like, two people say, can you put it on private? Okay. And then a couple weeks later, 6 more. Private. And I'm like, what is this shit? And it's like, you agreed to do the interview. But my mistake was I was taking people at their word. He said, she said. So, and a lot of people are like saying you're not copyrighted, you're not trademarked, blah, blah, blah. So I called up a lawyer, senior advisor, said, I have a couple questions for you. He said, 1, you're online based. So you have an online presence because people know who you are because everything's now online. 2, you do not have to be copyrighted or trademarked because you're not making any money. All you would be doing is pissing away $2,000 and you would be paying yourself back. But he said my biggest mistake was I should have had people sign a permission form from the very beginning. So the permission form is basically I introduce myself, I tell you what the concept of your show is, you agree to let me have use of the interview, you want me to re-edit it or whatever, edit it, re-edit it, whatever you want me to do, make it look nice, and that's fine. But I like to give people 30 days. Like, here's 30 days, and if something after 30 days, like during the 30 days, oh, can you re-edit this? Can you take it down? Can you make this part shorten? That's fine. After the 30 days, it's my interview. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. And as long as it's not discriminating against me and you, it's not a big deal because you're supporting a good cause, make a new friend out of it. And we were up front even before the show even started. So you knew everything. There's no surprises.
Good.
So I got up to 300. I basically, a handful of people said yes, some said no. So I said, screw it. At the time, it was called uncensored. I said, screw it. I took everything down. I said, you know what? The reason I picked uncensored is because I'm a wrestling fan. And I like, Snickers and Hershey presents WWE Monday Night Raw. And I was like, that sounds good. Maybe I can use that for myself. What about KeithAndrewNetWork presents Uncensored? And then when I took it down, I was like, you know what? Hell with it. I have the KeithAndrewNetWork. I might as well use the name for something. So I re-edited my interviews, and I had to swallow 150. I was lucky enough to get back up to 200. But I still had to swallow to 300, so I did it over. Now it's all split screen instead of the phone. And it's, I guess people would say it's a learning experience, but I should have done everything right from the start. Permission forms from the start, so it doesn't matter if this person or that person has a tantrum. It's like, hey, you signed it. There's no surprises. But I wasn't thinking at the time, so that was my mistake. But, I had permission forms. It's now professional. So it took, let's see, this is about 15, so it took 2 years to get back to where I am now, 300. And it's just, hey, I'm doing everything right now until something else magically appears. But, it's pretty much a learning experience. This is what I want to do until the day I die. So, hey, you have to do what you have to do, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Wow, thank you for sharing.
No, absolutely.
A great story. Perseverance definitely jumps out, right? It's like learn and persevere and keep pushing forward, right? Just keep grinding. Love it.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you was,
sure.
Are you on social media? How can your fans follow you? Are you on LinkedIn, Stage 32?
Yeah, sure. Like if someone's interested in my work, they can find me at the IMDb website. This is www.imdb, and they'll find me under Michael J. Rodriguez. There's naturally Michael Rodriguez. There's a lot of them out there, but I had a J in there, and it actually singles me out. You'll find me on there. You can read my bio, background, kind of a lot of what I shared here. All of my work is in the bio, and then the stuff I actually have credit for right now is on there as well. I'm also on Facebook under Mike Rodriguez, and I have a Twitter account under Mike Rodriguez as well. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm on right now. I'm also just trying out Instagram, just barely opened up an account. So yeah, but just Mike Rodriguez, it's all out there. Thanks for asking. I think we probably friended on all three of those, right? Or I'm following you now, I think so.
I think so. Well, we can always double check afterwards.
Yeah.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but the last question how I end all my shows is I'm a fan of Bill O'Reilly. So going on the record, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first? I gave him a talk. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after being a guest, how you feel now?
Okay. Yeah, my first reaction was I was blown away. My first official interview for the reason of being an actor, which is pretty cool. And so, yeah, I was kind of blown away by that. And after looking you up and seeing, how many you have, and behind this interview at the time, it's like 370 or something by the time we were at that stage, and you've had several since then. Just even that much more honored to be on here. Now that I've been on the show, I'm on the program here now. It's exciting. You make it very easy to be yourself, and that's good. Excellent. It's a good way to bring out the best in people, and I definitely appreciate you bringing me on here, Keith. So definitely can't thank you enough for this.
No, absolutely. Stay tuned. I have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up our interview segment. It's a real honor, Pub. It's have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2.
Thank you, sir.